and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in southern Tasmania. Apologies, I'm a couple of minutes late. I just got all ready and then realised I wanted to fiddle with my camera and then realised I wanted to get my iPad and then, so everything, I forgot everything until the last minute. So, hopefully everything looks okay to you today. I don't know, everything looks a bit blurry, but I think it's my eyes at the moment. Hopefully everything looks okay. I know the sound is right, but anyway, please let me know. As I say, I'm still breaking in this new camera and microphone setup, so everything's a little bit up in the air still. I'm just checking that I've got the right camera on. Let's see what the right microphone. Yep, that's the right microphone, so that's good. Okay, so let's get crafting. Today's card, the one that I made and popped on Facebook, I can't find it. I have a feeling I've tidied it away, and you know what that's code for. That's the phrase that puts dread through husbands everywhere. I've tidied up, and I don't know where I've popped it. So going on memory, I've recreated the card that we're going to make today. But anyway, we are featuring in a very sort of simple way, but because there's so much more we can do with this, the hybrid embossing folder, the delightful Doily hybrid embossing folder. So basically when you buy a hybrid embossing folder, which is this one here, you can use it with the dies that come with the bundle as well. So here I have the delightful Doily dies and the embossing folder. So what you can actually do is use the two elements together to create some very, very extra special designs. So that's the close-up of it there. So obviously it's a doily. You can use it as an embossing folder, which we will today. So just give it that doily effect on your cardstock. And you can also use it to cut out the doily and make a really nice sort of doily to use with your designs as well. Sorry, I'm just going to go to the chat so I'm keeping up with everybody. Okay, nice to see everybody on. Yep, cool. So let's get, as I say, the original card has been tidied up somewhere. I'll probably find it later and curse myself, but anyway, so we'll go from memory. Oh, before we start, I will show you my next fun fold class for those of you who do my fun fold classes, or if you've been thinking of doing it. The last few months I've had what we call themes. Yes, I think it was safe enough to call it a theme. I think 2 months ago it was easel cards. Last month we had a couple of Z folds. No, last month we had a couple of gate folds, and this month we're featuring Z folds, and each of them has something a wee bit different to your normal Z fold. This is the first one. It's actually a Z fold, as you can see, a double Z fold, but each of those little parts are in like little separate pieces, so you can actually see through them. So that adds a bit of flavour to that one. So that's one card from the class. This is another Z fold, fairly bit more standard, but you can see it actually has the black backing on there as well. So that's a wee bit different as well. So that's the second one, another double Z. And this one is your more sort of normal Z there, but it's got a little spring-based panel inside. So when it open up, that sort of springs forward to give a bit more interest as well. So that's the 3 cards from the August Fun Fold class. So I'll pop those up on my Facebook page. There's a spare spot in my VIP club if you'd like to save on future classes and be a part of the club. So if you've got any questions, please reach out. So this is what I have cut to make our card today. I'm using Petal Pink, a colour I haven't used for the longest time, it seemed. I couldn't find any scraps of it anyway, so I have obviously been using it quite a lot in the past. I have a Petal Pink card base. Here we go. Normal size, 8 1/4 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/8 to make the card. I have a wee panel for inside, which is 4 by 4 inches by 5 3/8. And I have a panel for the front, again, with our Petal Pink colour. There we go. So I'm going to start with this one. So this panel here, I've got other bits there, but I'll bring them out one surprise at a time. So we've got our panel of Petal Pink. Now I'm just going to use, for this one, I'm just going to use the straight embossing folder and just give this panel a bit of the doily treatment. So I'll pop it in there, line it up with the line. I'll grab my cut and emboss machine. Which tends to take up the whole screen when I bring it in, so just forgive that. So I've got the Petal Pink in there just to do the embossing with. Pop that through. So this is sort of like one aspect of a hybrid embossing folder, which is just the plain embossing. Now, I won't put that away too far because we're going to bring it back in a minute. I'll just pop it on the floor. Okay, so there we have, that's the Petal Pink layer that's been embossed. So you can use, that's the sort of the upside and that's the back side. So I suppose you can really choose which side you like best. But I'm going to have with the bumps, raised bumps upwards. Okay, so really all we need to do for this one is going to just, I'm going to grab some new glue because that one died earlier today. I'm going to just glue this panel straight to our card base. So that's it. New glue always comes out with a glug. Should be aware of that, shouldn't I? Okay, so this front panel is pure. It's about 1/8 of an inch shorter than my wire, smaller than my card base. So it's 4 by 5 1/8 as well. 5 3/8, I mean. There we are. So on its own, that's a pretty nice embossing folder, just if that's all there was. I'm going to pop my little internal panel in as well, just so I don't lose it. Tidy it away with the original card. Gosh, I'm terrible. Obviously, tidying away for my husband is code for I possibly threw it in the garbage bin, but I'm hoping I didn't. But it'll be here somewhere. Okay, so there we are. So that's the card base part. It does. Now thinking about it, I probably would have used snail to add that, but because it's quite a heavy pattern, it's not a big pattern, but it's got lots of detail to it. It does sort of weaken the paper a bit, so I'm going to let that dry, hopefully flat, before we come back to it. Excuse me. Okay, now the next aspect of this hybrid embossing folder is the actual cutting out of the doily. I'm just trying to find my little pokey thing. So this one, just to cut down on a bit of the time, I have already cut, using the dies, one of the doilies. Now this is just straight cut. This is how it just comes out, straight out of the cut and emboss machine with white cardstock. Okay, so that's pretty pretty. It's pretty intricate. Got lots of little pieces. As I say, don't do it if you want to keep the craft room clean, because there's lots of stuff involved there. But you, excuse me, you make it extra special when you put it. Oh, I've got a cough. Do I have any water in here? I don't think I do. You make it extra special when you pop it through the embossing folder. And this is what adds the aspect of the hybrid, using the two things, the two aspects, the two elements together. So what you have to do, and I'll take that out of the way so you can actually see what I'm doing, you line your die cut up with the main image on the embossing folder. And it's pretty easy to do because there's circles, there's little circle indents that fit into these, and there's little stars that fit into other holes, so you actually know you're lining it up correctly. So you line that up, You're hoping you put it in the right way up, but we'll go anyway. And then we pop that through. Oh my, who was that said that? Vicky. No, it was a nightmare, I tell you, Vicky. I'm usually pretty messy when it comes to creating, but this room, I spent yesterday cutting kits for a Southern Hobart Tassie demo gathering that's next Saturday. And oh my goodness, you can tell when I have trouble with the design because it just ends up in absolute chaos, and that's what this was. Okay, so excuse me, that has added, and hopefully you can see that in my camera, that has added the really pretty detail to our doily. So yeah, really, really nice. Now, in the dies, you also have, I think the frog in my throat has passed. You've got a little circle, which is what we've used. And I know my camera might be a little bit laggy today, but forgive me. Don't know. I think we've got everyone at home at the moment is using the internet. So with that Sally home, there's a bit of internet usage happening, which might be making it a bit laggy. Anyway, so you've got, this is the one, obviously the main one that I've just cut that doily out of. And you've got a little circle here, which fits pretty much perfectly just in the middle of the doily. And then you've got another one that just cuts out the outside of the doily there, and you've got another one that cuts out the inside of the doily. So if I flip this over, you can see it's got little doily edges, and it actually fits in and cuts out the inside of the doily. So you can make a big doily or a small doily, or a doily that just has an outside. You could sort of make a doily-shaped donut if you wanted to. I don't know what you'd use that for, but I'm sure you'd think of something. Okay, so that is the die set. So it's got 4 dies with it. So I have used the circle. So to complete our card, I have used that circle. I have cut out a circle in white. I'll get rid of that now. And using my 2 3/8 inch punch, I've punched a circle in petal pink, and it's going to sit, as much as I hate to cover over that beautiful internal detail, it's going to sit like that, and then with the other circle in front of it. So that's the main focus of our card. Okay, so let's pop that on. Now, for the life of me, I can't remember how I organised these as far as dimensionals is concerned, so we'll just have to play it by ear. It's got some glue dots on that. Okay, pretty sure I just glued this on to the card base. Pretty sure. Let's do that. I'm just going to line it up with the actual little doily from the embossing folder. And then you see that little nice detail that we've actually removed with the die. You can actually see that nice detail through the holes. So that's that. There we are. Okay. Then I think I've just glued this pretty peacock one. It's not going to really matter too much, is it? So just put that on there. Now, as I say, you have a small doily die that you could cut the centre of this out of, and that you wouldn't be wasting anything. You could use that on another card if you wanted to. So, yeah. So don't feel that you have to waste all that. Just getting that central as I can there. I think that's about right. There we are. And then this one is going to be trying to stop saying gonna. is going to be on dimensionals. Oh, but I'm going to put the sentiment on first. So to decorate these beautiful doilies, I've cut out some flowers and leaves from the Paper Florist die set. Again, I've used petal pink for my little flowers, so that's just one of the dies from the petal florist. And the leaves, my go-to green with petal pink is always old olive, so that's my old olive there. But I'm going to do my sentiment first. Now, neither of the dies or things that we've used today have a sentiment with them, so I'm going to use an old favourite pansy patch, still in the catalogue, that returned another year, and it's got some pretty intricate dies that happen with that as well. So I'm going to use the sentiments from that. I'm going to use the happy birthday, as much as that it seems to be the go-to sentiment, but we always need birthday cards. And I'm going to do my sentiment in old olive, being the strongest colour I've used today. And I'm popping that more towards the top right-hand side of our circle, if circles have tops and right-hand sides, but over to one side. Okay, so now I can pop it on some dimensionals. Yes, we've got Sammy home for just overnight. He's heading back up to Launceston today. And Steve just walked in from swimming just as I was going to go live, so I had to say hello to him. So, yeah, that's why I was a few minutes late. So we're popping this one. Yeah, it's nice to have Sammy home, even just for overnight. There we are. So that's is that straight? Sort of. There we go. So now we'll bring in our flowers. So what I'm going to do is grab my bone folder and my flowers, and I'm just going to give them, just on their edges, a wee bit of a curl. I think I have mentioned on a few occasions that I'm not very practiced with these paper flowers. I've never been a paper flower person, but I'm slowly learning. I've seen some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work done with this particular die, but there's so much happening at the moment. It's hard to concentrate on one single thing. Okay, so I've just given those a wee bit of a. Am I sending Sammy his lollies? I started. I started every month sending him his weekly lollies. So it was quite a lot of lollies at the end of the month. But his girlfriend is a doctor, and she mentioned to me that he may not need the extra calories that come along with a whole packet of lollies and a chocolate bar every week. So I stopped, and I send him other stuff now. Like I'll send him some seeds and a garden tool or something, and then I sent them a blanket and I sent him a shirt. Not every month because it's a bit expensive, but yeah, no lollies anymore. I got told, as mother-in-laws do. That's all right. I spoil him when he comes home. Okay, so I'm just adding a glue dot to each of these little flowers, and I'm popping them together to create two cute little flowers. Yeah. There we go. So we'll pop those on to the front. I think that way. So this is the reason we put this out a wee bit. Did my camera just glitch? Yes, I think it did. It's definitely struggling with everybody and their internet usage here. But, yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Yes, definitely struggling today. I can hear Stephen's listening to YouTube videos in the other room. And I know that drains the bandwidth terribly. But that's all right. We're nearly done. nearly done. Okay, so that one and then the little one. Now that's just on the edge of our circle, so you could, if you wanted to be a little bit pickier, you could pop those on dimensionals just off the edge, but that's okay. I'm going to live with that. Okay, then we'll bring in our old olive leaves. Now, there's too much leaf happening there. It's far too big, so I'm going to just chop it down a bit and just have the top 3 and some bling. Here we are. Cute, huh? I love that doily. I love that. Yes, it's very nice. I'm going to keep trying to work out lots of things to do with it. Bling, let's put some bling on. I'm going to stick to my favourites, my old favourites, my iridescent gems, just because I have them handy. And the large one is perfect for the inside of that little flower there. And the next size down one, which I'm hoping I've got, maybe I haven't. Yes, I do. 2 left. That was lucky. The next size down one is perfect for that little flower. And then I'll just use a small one for over here. There we are. That's done. So apologies there if it got a bit laggy. As I say, the internet can only go so far, and there's 3 of us using it at the moment, but I think it did drop out there for a second, but seems to have recovered. But anyway, so there's our card for today. As I say, we've used the delightful Doily hybrid embossing folder to create that doily behind there, plus as a straight plain embossing folder on the background as well. So really, really nice feminine card there, perfect for a nana or a mum or something like that, or an auntie. Yeah, like it a lot. Okay, so that's what the card looked like. I'm sure I'll find the other one now from my tidying up around the place. But there we are. So if you have any questions about that embossing folder, that hybrid embossing folder, please reach out. If you'd like to be a part of my Funfold class, please reach out as well. If you're watching from overseas, from outside Australia, I will be selling the PDFs for all my classes now through my Etsy store. So if you'd like to get the PDFs with the instructions and the video links for any of my classes over the last few months, please reach out, and you can buy that through my Etsy store as an immediate digital download. So that's really handy, no waiting. It'll turn up in your email straight away as soon as the payment clears. But anyway, that's a great way of doing it if you'd like to participate or be part of the fun outside Australia. Anyway, there we are. I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm going to go and say goodbye to Sammy. I'm sure he's going to head home pretty soon. And I might try and get outside before the rain starts. It's supposed to rain this afternoon. So great to see you all on. I'll pop through the comments and chat to all of you after we've finished. But have a great weekend, and I'll see you all again next week. Okay, bye guys.